Woo woo.
Okay. All right, G.
Okay. Yes.
Welcome to the H&F over coffee.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you finally made it.
Oh, thanks for having
You're
me.
most
I love
welcome.
your whole space. It's
Thank
so cute.
Thank you.
You got the whole gluten-free snacks.
Yes, ma'am. Just for you. I know my guests.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I know my friends. And I love that you picked the pink with your pink pants.
Yes.
Just saying. You
Exactly.
know, you feel me? The matchy.
It's all about the coordination.
Exactly. Very satisfying. So I'm so glad you did that because, like, I was just telling Ghazal that, you know, how amazing, like, I love how everything matches.
Yeah.
And, like, it just satisfies me so much.
Yeah.
And she just went for the pink top, and I'm like, yes. That's my girl. That's why we
It's all
bring
about being aesthetic.
Exactly. Aesthetics 101.
pleasing.
Love it. Although this is not very aesthetically what we're doing right here, but
Yes, tell me what this is
right.
exactly.
So this is basically everything vitamin C-ish and anti-inflammatory.
Oh,
so because tis the season.
Yeah.
So it's basically orange, lemon, turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger.
Yeah, I smell the cinnamon for sure.
You smell it all?
Yeah.
No. All right.
So we
Cheers,
have to
girlfriend.
just shot it, yeah?
Shot it.
Let's go.
Chug it.
Cheers. It's nice.
Yeah. Ooh, and it has a bit honey too.
Yeah, the honey. It's not.
Otherwise, it'll be like really spicy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very good. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Just to protect us from the flu going on.
I know,
and
right?
all the cousins of Rona going on. They call it what, the JD1 or something?
If there's a new name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, they
God.
just like announced it in like Saudi or something that they had the first case. I'm like, bro, I think we had like
Oh my
20,000 cases
God,
here already.
honestly.
Everybody's getting like majorly sick of the flu, and it's like, and you stay like a week or two like just zombie style.
Yeah.
You know, so it just hits you like there's
Yeah,
no tomorrow.
I know.
So. Anywho.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
So, everybody, G, Ghazal, my girl. So I've known Ghazal for quite a few years.
Yeah.
We go back in the day since maybe Evolve.
Yeah.
Was that where we met?
6 years ago or something?
Yeah,
like
it's
6
been
years
a
ago.
while.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the things that we were talking about earlier that I love how there are so many incredible people in the community like yourself, and I love that you've been basically doing little things here and there, but you've been managing it so well. Like you have your own refinery, you have your yoga thing going on, you have your part-time daddy's like special assistant going on and something completely different, and you're just like all over the place.
Yeah.
So I want you to kind of because the best thing is that for the person themselves to tell their own story. So I'd love for you to share your journey, because I know your journey, but I'd love for people to kind of know where you started from, and we kind of take it from there. And tell me.
Wow.
Who is
Oh my God, that's a loaded question. Wow. Okay, so where do I start? Basically, I was 3 when I moved to Qatar.
Okay.
And I did my schooling here. I studied in university in London. I did a business degree because I don't know, back in the day, what were you gonna do? Engineer, doctor, like this, that was it.
Engineer,
that was it, and that was not my cup of tea. But my dad had his own business, and he was like, you know, you're gonna work for me, and so I was like, okay, yeah, tell me what to do. Like, I can't make my own decisions. Like, that's the path I went for.
Follow that lead.
Yeah, and that was literally like my whole life, like people telling me what to do, and I was just doing it. So I got my degree. I moved back here, and I started working for my dad's company. Construction, not my thing. You know, it's a male dominant. I mean, you're in it. Yeah, male dominated. No,
construction, the whole shebang.
You know, it wasn't my thing. Like working 6 days a week, going into the office, like no. I didn't like it. But at the same time, I felt that responsibility for the family. But I wanted to find my own thing and my own path, and somehow I got into yoga. Like it just kind of, I stumbled upon it. I took a first class while I was on holiday, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
Did you like find it, like, because I know back then, like, there was much more social media and all that. Like, what was the thing that kind of brought your attention to it?
Well, I was on holiday with my sisters, and we were in the Maldives. There was a yoga class. I was like, oh, let's go try it. Like, we'll just sit and breathe, like meditate. I don't know, what is this? Like, it was like literally my first yoga class.
Okay.
And I was humbled. Because like, I mean, growing up, I was active. I was like in all the, you know, team sports. I did the gymnastics for like maybe 5 years.
No
and like,
way.
yeah, middle school, high school.
Know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did like regional competitions as well. I was
wow,
like, yeah, it was really cool. But I kind of stopped when I was getting towards like my GCSEs and things like that. Because,
same here.
Yeah.
Same here, because I was doing gymnastics for a while in like in Schweigfacht as
No
well.
way.
Yeah, and that's why I was surprised you did.
I did it in DES, yeah.
But like obviously we had like minimal equipment, like not professional equipment, so like the limit to where you're gonna go is gonna be regional. If you get to take even local, that would be awesome. But yeah, it was like school level.
Yeah, but it was so nice.
It
like I really loved
it.
I loved like doing physically active things. So I tried it out. It was so difficult. I was like, what is this? Like I remember holding a downward dog and I was like, we're just supposed to stay here? Like what is this pose? Like I can't breathe. Like,
but did you go in with like a specific idea that you thought of yoga? Like it was going to be just like meditation?
Yeah, I thought it was just like stretching, meditation, like nothing physically challenging.
Okay, I shouldn't sweat.
Yeah, I was sweating, and there was like a lady there, and she was like a bit older, and she was like just doing the poses like it was nothing. I was like, whoa, that's like, it was very inspiring. And I was like, but you know, it made me question like why is this difficult for me? So I was very curious. I came back to Doha. I found there was like only one studio back then, Yama Yoga. Started training there, had an amazing teacher. She left like Doha ages ago, but she was Kristen was the one that was kind of inspired me and like pushed me to like learn a bit more about yoga. So after that, I like just a few months in, I was like, wow, I was doing headstands and crow pose and like all these things that were like pretty cool, and I was like, oh, this is really nice, but I wanted to go more in depth.
Okay.
So I did my training in 2014. I think. And I did it in LA. It was like a 1 month intensive. It was honestly the best month of my life. Like that month like shifted my whole lifestyle, I would say. Like
in 1 month.
Yeah, like I was in probably the best shape of my life. I was like mentally in the best place. Like, you know, all you're doing for a month is like yoga. And you're
so mind, body, soul, everything is being fed.
Yeah, and you're connecting with like people you've never met and like just being so open and vulnerable with them. Like it was just something I'd never experienced. So
that's incredible.
It was super nice. And then after that, I was like, okay, like I got my certification. Do I want to teach? Like,
because usually I don't know if they did the same with you. Like, did they ask you in the beginning like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of you taking this course? And what was yours in the beginning? Did you want to like teach, or were you still discovering?
I was like, maybe I would, but for me, my like purpose was to build my confidence.
Okay.
Like taking that move to go and do my teacher training was like probably the first decision that I made by myself.
Wow.
Because everything else, it was like
made for you.
Made for me. Like, oh, your sisters are university in London. That's where you're going. You're gonna come back and you're gonna work for the family. Like, and then this was like the one thing that I was like,
this is mine.
I'm gonna do. Like, you know. And at the end of the day, your parents want the best for you. Want you to be happy and like.
But they don't know what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Only you can kind of tell that.
Exactly. I think even like. They were just like, what are you doing? Like, they didn't really, like, okay.
What is yoga?
What is this?
What is this? Completely like astray, especially for like adults and like our parents' generation. To them, it's like
Middle Eastern parents. Like,
it's like, so you're not gonna be an engineer, doctor?
Yeah, like okay, go, whatever. And then so I came back and I was like, okay, like I want to start teaching, but I felt this sort of like maybe you felt it too, like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So I came back, I'm like, oh my god, but like why are people gonna listen to me? Like what do I know? Like I'm not experienced enough. Like but yeah, I was like, you know what, like I just took all the things that my teachers you know in the training taught me, and they were like, yoga's meant to be fun, it's not serious. Like, you know, people are there to gain something, like change their mood, change their energy. So what if you like mess up something on one side and forget the other side? Like
they won't even know.
They won't know. Like don't like judge yourself too harshly. And at the end of the day, like you fake it until you become it.
100%.
And that was like the main thing. I was like, okay, so
because everybody started somewhere, you know,
right?
Like, I mean, even the best of yoga teachers, like,
exactly.
It took them like years and years to be where they're at now. We just saw them at their prime,
right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and I put myself in a position where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna say yes to whatever opportunity comes my way. So I was like in the, you know, Yama Yoga, like scene, WhatsApp group, whatever. Whenever there was a sub opportunity, I was like, I'm gonna sub, me.
Amazing.
From there, like, you know, you pick up, you get the experience and you become more comfortable teaching. So then I started getting more classes, and then more yoga studios started opening up.
True, yeah.
So I was just like, kind of just going from this place to that place to literally jumping place to place. And I'm sure you know as well, just like teaching in a variety of places. And I love that. I got approached by a few studios to like just be exclusive with them, but I really like, you know, having a diverse community. I want to be in a lot of different places. I want to make connections
everywhere.
I want to make connections everywhere. I want to be in different scenes, different vibes, like so I really took advantage of that. And honestly, at one point I think I was teaching at like 6 different locations.
Oh wow.
It was a lot, but
taking
now
the wave, just right on the top.
Exactly. But now I went through the whole like teaching private as well. And as well, like starting off with like private sessions, like there's a lot of ups and downs, like, you know, like last minute cancellations, things like that.
A lot of it.
And like, you know,
and the part where, especially in the beginning, when you don't know how to say no.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the toughest part. Like at the beginning, especially when like, you know, when you want to learn and you're still in the new like community altogether, you're still a new yogi, you're still a new PT or whatever it is. It's so hard to say no because you like, this is it. This is what I want to do. So I have to
exactly.
And like, for example, like especially if you're in it to like help as many people as possible. It's even harder to say no.
Exactly.
You're like, you know what? It's fine. I'll sacrifice an hour here, sacrifice an hour there. I'll go home by 10, 11 p.m. and, you know, it's fine. But maybe this is what it's going to be, you know? So it's like, I think it's all kind of on your mindset. Like, and in the beginning, like for all new PTs, all new yogis and all that, we all fall in the trap of not being able to say no.
I spent years like going through that, like just overstretching myself, but at the same time, like you said, you wanna help people. You want so
and
I kind
need to like, you know, build up your confidence by training more people. Even like the variety of people that you meet are very different.
Different bodies, different shapes, different abilities. Like it really broadens your experience. So
100%.
So it was a whole journey, and I feel like now I've kind of found the right balance. So like along side by side with yoga, when I said it kind of shifted my whole lifestyle, it changed the way I was eating. So I really like, I was like just the biggest like sweet fan. I was eating like all sorts of like cakes, and I love to bake. Like I got it from my mom, so I was always baking cupcakes, and there was a whole cupcake craze back in the day. I was like, I was a cupcake
take you
queen.
for a sweet tooth girl.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
I love my sweets. So I even changed the way I baked. So I started to use alternatives.
And was that because of like yoga, or did you want to have sort of a complete shift in your nutrition in general? Like, what was that like spark that made you feel like, you know what, I need to change the way I eat? It
was because of yoga. It was the way that I was, you know, eating, like to make myself feel better, to feel lighter, to feel, you know, like because the way I was eating up until like in university and stuff, it was not sustainable. Like that was not going to work. So I was just being more conscious, because, you know, in yoga you learn a lot about your body and what you know, feed yourself, like what you feed your mind, how you feed your body, and things that you listen to, like all these little things that affect your body. So I really took all of that like into practice. And for a few years, like I tried out the different things, like not vegan entirely, but like cutting out red meat and this and that. So like,
did you like kind of follow specific people's leads that were doing it already, or was it sort of like, let me just try random things out and see what works for me?
No, I don't think I was just trying out different things, like maybe like back then there was like a trend or something. I think there was like a whole documentary. Of like
the food one.
Yeah, the Netflix.
I forgot what was it called? Vegetarian. It was something about like
going
vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I watched that and I was like, oh wow, that's like a bit.
That was extra.
That was extra, but at the same time, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should cut down the meat I'm eating.
And I feel like that specific show, like a lot of it was based on how they do things in the States, maybe, or in the West.
Yeah.
Where not everything is under like, not even a specific like hygiene level or a specific way of like killing animals and whatever,
like regulations
and all that. Regulations, exactly. And like the safety regulations that we have here, like we're lucky in Qatar. Like I mean, it's not like we have many, so it's easier for them to keep an eye on them because we're not like a huge country. So it definitely, you know, there's an eye everywhere, and if someone messes up and it's reported, place is shut down, and they're on it. Consumer protection is like the best here, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like it gives you that kind of comfort, and the way that we know, like here, because things like the animals are slaughtered a specific way, an Islamic way, and everything. So you know that the meat itself, that nothing happens to it, and just the whole process, I believe, is way different than how they showed it in that movie. Like at least on this side of the world, you know.
For sure.
So like to me, I feel like, especially that I'm a big meat lover. So it'll be very hard to convince me to stop that. So when I saw that, I'm like, I don't think they do that. I mean, maybe in the States or maybe somewhere else or whatever. But and again, it's not everywhere in the States. Like there are like high quality places and really bad places. It's just, it depends where you buy it from, which farm you get it from, you know? But it's like, it's more of like, you know, you don't know where the meat's coming from. And they kind of scared us like from everything that's got to do with chicken, meat, and whatever. And it just grossed us out, you know? But I'm like, is that really where I want to go? Like, do I just want to go vegan? I still need the benefits of that, you know? I'm going to go get chickens and slaughter them.
Exactly. But like, it was also like just interesting when they were showing like athletes that are vegan and they're like competing and doing all these like, you know, crazy races.
Like they're able to still get their protein and all of that.
So that was like kind of interesting and inspiring for me. I tried it and I was like, okay, it doesn't work for me, but I just learned that everything in moderation. So now I just have a just balanced, you know, diet.
So you still have your meat,
chicken,
but just
everything, just in moderation, just like anything, like everything should be.
And I feel like most like vegetarians and vegans that hopped on that trend back then, most of them are out. Like they're all back to a balanced diet, back to eating meat, back to that. Although maybe nothing changed like on the other side, but you're like, so the meat is still meat. Like, I mean, it's still being cut the same way, it's still being done the same way. So nothing has changed, but it's more of you being more aware. You know, it's just raising that awareness that, and you still need your meat. Like, there just isn't a replacement for it. Like the benefits that you get out of like meat and the chicken and all that, it's the natural sources. And vegans and vegetarians still do struggle nowadays. Like I've seen people go on trends where they don't know, because they're not even like counting the calories, so they don't know how much like they're getting out of these like sources. So they end up being malnutrition. They end up struggling. They end up feeling really weak. They start losing their muscles, even if they're on it, like they're working out. They feel like they're on point with their nutrition. They've cut out all the meat and chicken and blah blah blah, and then they're like, wait,
it hits
what's
you.
Happening?
I mean, I did it for almost 2 years.
Oh wow.
And
dedication.
It was. I mean, just fish. I would have, but chicken and meat I wouldn't.
And at least you were having fish. That's good.
Yeah,
at least you're
but
getting your omegas.
I was, but I was deficient in iron, and I wouldn't know why I was always tired. I was getting cuts on the sides of my my lips here, and just always fatigued. Like, and I was like, oh, I don't know what, but I mean, you can be vegan. You have that lifestyle, but you really need to
understand why
you really need to and you really need to know how many grams of protein and all that stuff.
Your macros.
I wasn't. I was just kind of you know.
Most of us don't. Like some people are really good at keeping count, but most of the population is just not good at that. So like, why put your life at risk?
It was
And it's like, and like you said, like it will take you time until you realize that, oh wait, it's because of my nutrition. And I thought I was like following this perfect diet that would help me feel light as a feather. You know?
But you know what it is? Like, it's so funny. I don't know if that's happened to you, but I mean, I was doing it for 2 years, and I got to a point where I was like just like stubborn with myself. Like I knew it wasn't like my body.
It wasn't working for you.
It wasn't working.
Like, I stayed this far.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And I would have like my, you know, my family members like tell me like, what's gonna happen to you if you just have this piece of meat?
And they love doing that.
Yeah, and just have it, and that's how I started actually. Like my sister was just like, just eat this, like just nothing's gonna happen.
Way.
I was like, okay, fine.
And you got weak.
And I did, and then after that, I was like, you know what, like. Yeah, I
miss my meat.
Yeah, and I got tested. I was deficient in vitamin D and iron and
oh my god,
B. I had to like, you know, I don't know what your regular levels of like vitamin D are, like 30, 40. Is usually, that average?
Yeah.
I was
around that.
5. I was 5.
What?
I had to get injections. It was that bad.
Because I know like people who live in the Middle East in general, like most of us are deficient. Like we can't stop taking vitamin D. You can reduce maybe the amount that you're gonna take, but most people are deficient and they don't even know it. And it can cause like depression. It can cause so many issues, like heart issues, immunity, like autoimmune diseases and things like that on the long run. So sometimes like I feel like we're targeting like, or we think the problem is somewhere else completely, while you're trying to like work out, fix your food and whatever, but at the same time you don't know that you're missing out on like basic vitamins, you know.
Exactly.
And plus the fact that you're restricting yourself as well in your diet, and that's even worse because you're not even getting the basic like the minimal vitamins from there, and you're not getting your like multivitamins like in other places, like, you know, just pills. And it's like, what is happening? And you end up like having brain fog, and you don't know what the reason is.
You don't know what it is. But like, basically get your blood test every year.
100%.
For sure.
Honestly, I have my clients do it every 6 months.
Every 6 months as well.
6 months is like ideal. And it's like going back to like even nutrition and stuff, because I know now you have like your refinery and all that. Is that where as well you wanted to bring your love for sweets and food and all of that together and just find that balance kind of thing? Yeah,
so I mean, that it's really interesting. That's a whole nother story how that started. But like I was just baking all these like, you know, gluten-free alternatives and like dairy-free desserts and snacks, and like I had a lot of people, like my friends, you know, saying this is really good, why don't you start to sell it? Like I was like, oh, I don't know, like I never thought of that. So I was like, okay, like it just kind of grew. Like I made an Instagram page. It, you know, here word of mouth spreads. Like it's amazing.
The beauty of being in a small country.
Exactly, and the communities here are so tight. So like, if something's good, it's just gonna spread. If something's bad, it's also gonna spread. So, so I was really lucky that like a lot of people really liked, you know, the things that I was making, and I loved creating things. Like I loved, like, you know, it's my baby now. I love birthing this whole idea, the brand. Like it was a whole journey. Like I remember my brother came up with the logo, and then
incredible.
I found the packaging and just did everything. I was like delivering the stuff myself at the beginning. And then I was like, oh, it's growing. So then I got a driver, I registered the company. I was dealing, like supplying some coffee shops. So it's been really great. It's really nice. I really enjoy it.
That's very nice. And what is your favorite, I would say? What would you recommend people to like?
I mean, the brownies are just the best.
I know, the tahini brownies.
The tahini brownies are,
Girl, these are my favorite. Like I can finish a whole box of them just solo.
Yeah.
Like I buy thinking that I'm just gonna take one piece every day, but it doesn't happen. I just
so good.
Once I start, I can't stop.
So, they're so good. I'd say my favorite's the almond butter.
The almond butter. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean they're all pretty good.
Pretty Gucci.
But so it's been really fun, and it's been really interesting to kind of grow something and build something like kind of by myself. And in parallel to like, okay, I have my dad there to like help me, and mentor me in a way that, that's super helpful, and it's really nice to have that like bond as well.
That's incredible.
But it's really rewarding when you just kind of make something out of nothing. 100%,
because you literally started from scratch, and it's something that you love. Like when you do something that you're so passionate about, it just hits different. And people can feel it. People can tell like this person like loves what they're doing. Like there's just this energy that's different, and and you don't feel like it's a burden. Or,
No, not at all. Like I would juggling, like teaching classes, doing the baking, like and like I would have people tell me like, just you're doing too much, like, and I was like, no, but I really love it, like
exactly.
I don't know, it just, you get that energy, you get fueled, like when I first started, I was going to the farmers market, the Torba market, and like I wanted to be there and like to meet the people and to explain my brand and explain the ingredients and the snacks and the whole idea and get the feedback, like I really enjoy, and I love, like that's another thing, like for me to teach yoga and to have this like company, like I love connecting with people, so I love just meeting new people, and it's really nice.
That's amazing.
So
I think you're doing an awesome job, girl.
Thank you.
And I think people can feel it. Like they see you. I see you. You're doing an awesome job, and I love everything that you're doing. I think you're acing it all, juggling it all. So well done.
Yeah, I think it's when it, like you said, if it's something you really like, it doesn't feel like a burden, and it's fun. Like it's just it's satisfying.
That's true.
It really is. So
because you feel like accomplished. You feel like it's fulfilling. This is where your passion lies, and it fills your cup.
It does.
And the more that you feel like people are responding, people are liking it, and they're enjoying it, you're able to spread the happiness.
Exactly.
Like one bite at a time.
Exactly. Because like people love like to have sweet things, and you shouldn't have to restrict yourself.
100%.
Like I said, everything in moderation. But if you can have something that's sweet and that tastes good, why not do it in a clean way?
Exactly. So like basically to me, it's like you feed their soul with yoga, right? You take care of their physical, and because honestly, like this podcast is mainly about, like, obviously it's health and fitness, like H&F over coffee. So it's like health is all about your physical, your mental, and your gut health as well. So these three to me are so important, and people tend to put gut health on the side, and to them it's like just maybe sometimes even physical only, but like to me all three are connected. Like even if your gut is not okay, mentally and physically, you're gonna struggle. If one of those three in that triangle are falling or deficient, you're just not gonna be the same. So I feel like with everything that you're doing, I think you're tackling all of them, which is incredible. So like it's like you're feeding their soul, you're feeding their tummy, and you're just keeping it all on point, But so my last question for you is, and again, so Ghazal and G is going to be on here several times, I'm sure. I'm gonna definitely host you several times, so I don't want to give away all the details and everything that I want to ask you. Yes. But the main question is at the moment is stepping into 2024, right? How, like, I don't want to ask you like the cliche question, like, what is your New Year's resolution? Right? It's going to be different than that. But what do you feel like is kind of your main goal that you want to kind of take with you from 2023 and then grow it even a bit more, like depending where you're at as well. So where are you at, and where do you see yourself growing into 2024?
That's really good. Okay, I think the last couple of years have been a sort of like a bit of a challenge for me, like mentally. I won't go into detail, but like, I mean,
that's for another podcast. So, trust me, that we will be going.
I mean, everyone has their struggles,
exactly,
right? But I feel like I was just kind of cruising through life, like I wasn't
conscious or aware in a way.
No, like I was just going through the motions. I was going through the motions and just trying to get things done. But I feel like
hustling and bustling, but you're not there.
But I feel like as the year is closing, like towards the end of the year, or halfway through the year, like and a big part of it was my my summer away with my family, and just like reconnecting and rebuilding. That really helped me like kind of reshape and just focus on what my goals are for the following year. I feel like I'm in a place where everything is aligned, everything is great, alhamdulillah, and like I am ready to challenge myself further and like step out of my comfort zone and make some like difficult decisions and changes. So
is there like one specific change you want to share, or
I mean, I'm working towards it, but like we can share it. So I really want to challenge myself, and next year hopefully I'm applying to an MBA program.
Amazing.
So I want to grow my business skills and move away for a few years and see how I can use that and build a network and see how I can grow Refinery, or maybe it's another business, but expand somewhere outside of Doha. So we'll see.
But would you expand and then come back, or you'll see where it's gonna take you?
Yeah, I think we'll see.
We're not gonna get rid of you.
Yeah,
I
know. I mean, Doha's home, but
exactly.
But yeah, I think
I'm ready. Like step outside the box.
I'm ready for a change.
Get out of your comfort zone completely, including leaving home.
Definitely.
And venture into just the new world.
Yeah. So I think I'm definitely ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready for just putting myself exactly in a whole new experience, a whole new just environment, and seeing how I, adapt and flourish, and hopefully
sure you're gonna flourish.
Yeah, we'll see.
Amazing. Well, thank you so
really
much
excited
for sharing.
For that. Thank you so much.
I'm happy for you, and good luck on your journey.
Thank you.
Until then, we're gonna make the maximum use of Your Majesty being here. But it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Sahar. It's been awesome. You're so sweet, and
thank you so much.
Yeah, it was so nice talking to you.
Thank you, girl. It's been a pleasure, and hope I see you back here again.
Yes, thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.